I'm Devin Strecker, and we're here in Paradise, Kansas. I am a graduate of Fort Hays State University, class of 2000, and I majored in information networking and telecommunications. I was the editor of the Fort Hays State University Leader newspaper and the Reveille yearbook, and I was also on the KFHS television station, the television news, and the radio station. So I had my hand in kind of every pot that I could have in Fort Hays State University. And once I graduated from there, I moved to Los Angeles, California, and I started my career as an event planner. And then from there, I started working for business improvement districts because they were impressed with my background in journalism. Through my time at Fort Hays State University, I participated in the Kansas Collegiate Press annual conferences where I won, I think it was Journalist of the Year for 1A School Yearbook. So I've been working in Los Angeles for business improvement districts doing the communications now for 17 years. And I'm back here in Paradise, Kansas, which is my hometown. Actually, both my great-great-grandparents on both sides of my family settled here in Paradise, Kansas back in the late 1800s. Around 1889 is when the railroad came here to Paradise, Kansas. So my paternal grandparents were the Steelos, and they homesteaded a farm just south of town, about 2 miles. And my maternal great-great-grandparents had a farm right outside of the city limits. So our history here goes back to the 1880s, and we have lived here for many years until we moved to Hays in the year 1991. And my mom also went to Fort Hays State University. So I'm very proud to be here, be representing Paradise, Kansas, representing Fort Hays State University. I have a lot of cousins and aunts and uncles and family members that are here tonight. So the reason that we're here is last year the city of Paradise decided to start a fall festival to raise money for the city. There's a historic water tower up at the north end of town that was built as part of the Works Progress Administration under FDR. So that was a program where the president basically paid people who didn't have a job to create and build things for public infrastructure. So they built the water tower, I believe it was back in the 1930s, because the actual grocery store here in town had burnt down in 1936, I believe, because they didn't have pressurized water system here. So the president authorized this program. They built a water tower, and unfortunately it's been almost 100 years and the water tower has been neglected and in disrepair. So they started this annual fall festival to raise money for the city infrastructure, including the historic water tower. And last year was the first year. And so I came back home last year for the first year's festival. And this year I decided I wanted to get involved. For my background as a party planner, I wanted to have a pre-party. So tonight, September 20th, we're having a pre-party here at the old gas station. When I was a kid, this was a functioning gas station. You could actually come here and fill your car up with gas and have your car serviced. But that closed back in the late 80s. So luckily, the Moppins who live here in Paradise were kind enough to let us have this party here. So I'm really happy to be able to bring some life back to this old building. And everything here tonight is free, but it's for donations, which we're donating to the city of Paradise. So I hope everybody here has a great night. We're going to play some songs. My brother and I are both musicians, and we're in bands out in Los Angeles. So we wanted to come back home. This is the first time we've ever performed here in Paradise, Kansas. So really excited for this night, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, Devin is my cousin, who I've always known ever since I have been born. My connection with him goes right to the crib. Anyway, Devin and I, we are very close. I would say we had a blast growing up together, and we have always tried to maintain a very close connection. Love him very much, and I would say that's my connection to Devin. My connection to Paradise is that I was born here Well, I was born in Hayes, 1979. Got brought back here by my parents, Jean and Sharon. And I think I was raised here probably till I was about an 8th grader. And beyond my 8th grade year, I went on to move to Lucas and then on to Hayes, where I yet again lived with my cousin, Devin. And he and I, of course, became very close that year. I don't know, I have a lot of very good memories of Paradise. This is a good town, very small town. We roller skated down Main Street. We did sledding. We never were afraid to just run this whole town, and we pretty much did as kids. And I don't know if I know many people that live here now, but when we lived here, this place was awesome. And it's a gorgeous town. I love this town. I hope it continues to carry on and thrive. And I think everything's going very well. I like that the Paradise community is doing this. I think this is a great opportunity for people that lived here previously to come back, get together, have a good time, and reminisce.
So I'm Brandon Strecker. I'm Devin's brother. I grew up here in Paradise from birth till 7th grade, and then we moved over to Hayes. While I lived here, I just was a farm kid, ran around, played outside, and didn't have much interest in anything other than being outside. But when we got over to Hayes, my brother had always been a musician, and he came home one day with a guitar. He bought it secondhand. He handed it to me, and he said, "Hey, you're going to learn how to play this, and we're going to be in a band." So I said, okay. Thought, well, I guess. Sounds like a good idea. So I started playing the guitar with him. We had a couple bands through high school, and then he finished college at Fort Hayes and decided it was time to move out to Los Angeles and give it a go. So went out there, played music in several different bands for a lot of years and plugged it out. I actually ended up kind of in the last year or two retiring a bit from music and started my own business, and I thought that would give me more time to work on the music. Instead, I found actually this is more in demand, so been chasing that and just trying to find a balance where I can get back to working a little less and playing music a little more. So that's currently where I'm at right now. I've done a bunch of solo albums under a band called SNOS. My uncle Ronnie, who played with us tonight on the bass and the guitar, has been my collaborator on that. It's just a recording project. In fact, I played 2 of the songs here tonight. That's the most SNOS songs I've ever played live in any setting. Otherwise, it's just record them, put them on the internet, forget about them, move on, and do more when I have time. And that's still what I'm doing with my music. And growing up in Paradise was just a wonderful feeling. It just gave me a whole viewpoint, the way I looked at the world, as things are possible. You just got to do them yourself, and it's kind of guided my whole life ever since then. If I wanted to do something, I just said, okay, well, here's the first step to doing that. I'll do this, I'll do that next, and follow that steps, and you got life. That's how it works.
Hi, my name is Amy Anderson, and I am Devin's cousin. And I grew up coming down here to Paradise and spending the summer with our grandparents, Devin and I's grandparents, on the farm in Paradise. And I fell in love with this town when I was probably about 4 years old, when I was old enough to know how special it was. Going to the church on Sunday mornings, stopping by the little grocery store across the street, and going back to Grandma and Grandpa's. And this town, it just means so much to me. My mother and father met here, and Paradise has always meant family to me. My grandparents and their families, there's deep roots here, really deep roots, and it's some of the best people you would ever meet. It truly is, for a lot of us that have a connection here, a real paradise. Tonight has been fabulous. We've had so much fun, and it's a great group of people, and everybody needs to come visit Paradise.